There's a sentence that defines most people's lives. My mind is my enemy. And that sentence has destroyed more lives than any war ever did. You want peace, focus, strength. But something inside won't let you. Your thoughts control you, instead of you controlling them. Most people spend their entire lives fighting their minds, never realizing that the mind isn't meant to be fought. It's meant to be understood. But you're here today because you're tired. Tired of that voice that keeps whispering, "You're not enough. You're too late. You can't do it." Stay with me till the end of this video, because today you'll learn how to master your mind. Without force, without effort, just awareness. If you're ready to rebuild your inner world, hit that like, subscribe, and let's begin this journey that changes everything from the inside out. Your mind is like a dark room, one that's been left without light for years. Every thought that enters it becomes a shadow. And because it's dark, you believe the shadow is real. Fear, doubt, worry, they're not truth. They're illusions that look real when you haven't turned on the light of awareness. You've been fighting ghosts, not reality. And all it takes is one moment to pause, to breathe, to step back and watch. That's when you realize your mind isn't your enemy. It's an untamed tool, wild, but not evil. Since childhood, you were told to control your mind. Don't think negative. Be strong. Stay positive. But the harder you tried, the more you failed. Because the mind cannot be controlled by force. It's like trying to hold the ocean in your fists. The tighter you squeeze, the faster it slips away. Here's the truth. Most people don't want to understand their mind. They just want to silence it. But silence doesn't come from suppression. It comes from understanding. And that's where your real journey begins. When you learn that mastering your mind isn't about control, it's about release. That voice inside you, the one saying, "You're not enough," it's not your enemy. It's your mind begging you to listen. And once you do, that angry voice turns into peace. When you learn to observe your mind instead of being it, something magical happens. The mind doesn't quiet down because you forced it. It quiets down because it's finally understood. Imagine a voice in your head talking every single day. And for years, you've ignored it or fought it. It gets louder, until one day, you finally listen. And when you do, you realize behind every fear, there was only pain. Your mind just wants to be understood. And when you give it attention, it transforms from your greatest enemy into your strongest ally. People who don't understand their mind keep running. Through work, through noise, through distractions. But running from your mind is like running from your own shadow. It follows you wherever you go. That's why the masters of the mind don't fight it. They watch it. They know that every thought, every emotion, is just a wave. It comes and goes. You only drown when you try to stop the wave. So let it come. Let it go. Let the mind speak. Let the feelings rise and fall. Because the moment you stop trying to force peace, you finally find real peace. The mind is like a river. If you try to stop the water with your hands, you'll drown. But if you learn to flow with it, the river itself will take you where you need to go. Most people fight their mind. They want to control it, fix it, silence it. But that's exactly what drains them. Because every time you try to control the mind, you feed it more energy. You can't change your mind by fighting it, only by seeing it. Seeing without judgment, like standing by the road, watching cars pass, without getting in any of them. Those cars are your thoughts. You are the observer, not the driver. But remember, letting go doesn't mean not caring. It means knowing what's happening and choosing not to cling to it. So when your mind starts worrying, you just smile and say, "Oh, here we go again." That's when real power begins. Because you're no longer your thoughts. You're the awareness watching them. And that awareness is control. The more present you become, the quieter your mind gets. Not because it's forced to, but because it finally feels heard. There's a strange truth. The more you try to be calm, the more anxious you become. The more you try to focus, the more distracted you feel. The more you try to control your mind, the more it slips away from your control. Why? Because trying is resistance. And resistance is energy moving in the wrong direction. The mind is like a mirror. It reflects clearly only when it's still. If you shake it, hoping for a clearer picture, you only blur it more. Real mastery isn't about control. It's about presence. It's about allowing thoughts to come and go, without fixing, without forcing. The moment you say, "I need to calm down," you've already strengthened the noise. But when you breathe and whisper, "This restlessness is part of me right now," the storm softens. The mind doesn't calm by force. It calms by permission. When you let it be, not control it, not run away, something magical happens. Your thoughts fade, not because you erase them, but because you stop being them. Then, focus comes, naturally. Creativity flows, effortlessly. Peace arrives, quietly. Because you're no longer the mind. You're the awareness behind it. And that's where real mastery begins. We've always been told, you can't succeed without effort. But no one mentioned that true effort always comes with peace, not stress. Most people fight their minds like warriors. Against thoughts, against emotions, against themselves. But those who truly master their mind flow like a river, calm but unstoppable. They don't force focus. They don't force positivity. They simply let their mind move naturally. And when it drifts off course, they gently guide it back, without judgment, without anger. That gentle return, that's the secret of effortless mastery. Think about this. You're meditating and your mind wanders. You have two choices. Get frustrated. Damn it, I lost focus again. Or smile softly and say, that's okay, come back. That small difference changes everything. In the second option, you stay peaceful. You stay in flow. And the more you return without resistance, the stronger your awareness becomes. A mind that learns to return instead of resist, stops wasting energy on fighting, and starts using it for growing. That's where clarity comes. That's where wisdom rises. That's where you move, not from pressure, but from peace. Because mastery isn't about control. It's about alignment. When your actions rise from calm presence, even the hardest tasks feel effortless. Because you're no longer at war with yourself. You're finally moving as one. Life today feels like a battlefield. Everyone's racing to be faster, richer, better. But your mind wasn't made to race. It was made to lead. When you bring effortless mastery into your daily life, you realize you don't have to control everything. Because when your mind is calm, the right path reveals itself naturally. Imagine you're failing at something important. The ordinary mind says, fight harder, don't lose. But the mastered mind says, what is this moment trying to teach me? That's the difference between collapse and growth. In relationships, too. When someone hurts you, the normal reaction is defense. But awareness just observes. It understands where the pain comes from and grows. True power isn't loud. It's the ability to stay calm while the world panics. To act while others react. To rise above what tries to pull you down. Here's the secret. Every time you stay calm when others can't, you've already won. Because calm is strength. Control without force. And once you master that, your life shifts from reaction to creation. You stop waiting for life to happen, and you start becoming the reason it does. We all want to master our minds. But the truth is, your mind isn't meant to be forced into silence. It's meant to be understood. True mastery isn't about control, it's about harmony. Not fighting your mind, but dancing with it. Every time you remind yourself you don't have to fight every thought. Every time you breathe instead of react, you're growing stronger, effortlessly. Most people think the mind must be defeated. But your mind isn't the enemy, it's your greatest ally. Once you learn how to work with it, every storm inside becomes fuel for your evolution. And one day, you'll look back and realize, everything that once scared you is now just a small wave beneath your feet. So take a deep breath. You're on the right path. Your mind isn't against you. It's waiting for you to lead. Now it's your turn. Comment below. What's the biggest challenge you face with your own mind? Let this space be where awareness begins. And if you're still on your journey, still chasing real growth, hit that like and subscribe button. Because this is where strong minds are built. Not through pressure, but through presence.